Hi, I'm Samantha Bee, and in a previous life, I was a teenage criminal. I mean, technically, it was this lifetime, but I'm just trying to make sure the authorities don't come after me. What kind of extradition policy does Canada have with the US? Am I joking? I don't know. But it is true. As a teenager, I was guilty of a few things that I'm now quite ashamed about. There were the Anne Murray haircuts, those were bad. The double popped collar polo shirts, worse, and also the car theft. Okay, I suppose you could say that probably was the worst. Yeah, I was 15, and yes, of course, I had a shady boyfriend who I thought was God's gift. We lived in Toronto. We were aspirational. I mean, like, frankly, we weren't rich at all, but we definitely wanted to be, and so we got to work. So instead of smoking pot in a basement, like all normal teens, we would, yes, steal cars to finance our lavish lifestyles of aforementioned double polo shirts and fancy hotel room parties that we threw for all of our greasy teenage friends. Now, I did not actually steal the cars myself, but I did a very solid lookout job. And then we would sell whatever parts we could figure out how to remove from the car, and then we would use that cash to rent the fancy hotel rooms. Like, I would literally rent rooms under fake fancy names like Mrs. Rosewell. Did I mention I had braces? And one side of my hair was shorter than the other side of my hair. Anyways, it is true. Like, I am actually banned from ever staying at the Toronto downtown Sheraton ever again. My picture might be on the wall in the security hut. I really can't go into more specifics. Look, I don't know why I thought that was a wise lifestyle. I naively assumed that if someone could afford one car, surely they could afford 2 or 10. I had no idea. I don't know why I thought that. It certainly wasn't true for my family. It would have been a total disaster for us. Sometimes we make choices without thinking about who else they affect. I try to do less of that now. So one day, really, I woke up and some smart straight-A student who was laying dormant inside me said, "This is not who you are. Reminder, stealing is not a victimless crime. Everyone in your life hates you, and also you hate you. Stop it. Stop it right now." And I did. That day. I stopped taking his calls. I stopped dating him that exact day. I just walked away. Cold turkey, like full stop, complete turnaround. It was like a full slap across the face wake-up call, self-administered, like running full tilt into a wall and waking up totally reborn. And I really, really don't regard that time with pride. Although I do confess that it makes an amusing story, and have spent the rest of my days somehow trying to make up for it all. Anyway, I love it when a smart choice presents itself to you as a non-choice that you know is so right that you feel it in your bones. Today, Samantha Bee, you are taking a different path. Go. This is Choice Words, and today I'm joined by the very funny writer, producer, director, author of Sicker in the Head, Judd Apatow. You love his movies like 40-Year-Old Virgin, Anchorman, The King of Staten Island, Trainwreck, and really so many more. We talked all about choices, from the projects he chooses to make to learning to live a more zen life. Have a listen and make good choices. Can I just start asking you questions now?
We just jump right into it.
We jump right in. Are you in Los Angeles right now?
I am at my office. I'm striking right now in my office.
Sweet.
Malone.
None of this
will be written down, and all I'm doing is looking at TikToks and reading Apple News, and no creativity is happening.
No creativity, no ideas, no thoughts.
Inside, I'm accepting
dead inside,
it.
No forward motion, nothing.
No streamer will make any money off of my thoughts in this room.
No, not anymore. Not today.
Nope.
Mm-mm. Should we talk briefly, like before we even get into anything else, should we just gently celebrate or really relish in the fact that Tucker Carlson is not gracing our television screens right now?
It's weird that it happened, isn't it?
It is.
Like, isn't it what you always hoped would happen, which is, what if he was just revealed face in the crowd style as hating his audience and not believing most of what he says? And then it just appeared that way.
It just appeared that way. It happened. And then he was all of a sudden just off TV, probably forever.
Who knows if he could get all those people back who liked him when he admitted he didn't like them. Like, you got to be a self-hating fan of all of that to let him back in, because it's rare that we really have just the hatred for your own audience being so naked like that. Because it is what you thought, like, oh, he doesn't really probably believe most of this, but you never thought you'd get it written down.
I know. I can't believe he wrote all those thoughts down just in a way that was so beautifully rolled out for all of us, like a transcript of his hatred and derision.
Well, there's that great book that Brian Selter wrote about Fox and how it's run. And he basically said that they're just trying to please the audience for the most part. Obviously, they're conservative, but they're trying to please the audience. And I think that's what happens to people like Tucker Carlson, which is the audience, like a Facebook algorithm, just takes you to the dark side.
Right.
I mean, everything about human nature takes you to the dark side. So if you go, wow, my ratings go up if I just keep saying what they want to hear, then it just gets weirder and darker and weirder, just for the same reason when you go on YouTube, it just keeps getting darker and weirder. And he's getting paid more money, so there's a motivation to become that person. And I really think, having met some of these people, that they really have convinced themselves that they don't have any effect on the culture or politics. They really think, if I didn't say it, someone else would. And they let themselves off the hook. Or, well, there's all this liberal media. There has to be right-wing media. And so this is all fine. And at some point they disconnect from the actual real world damage of some of it.
Which ones have you met? I met Tucker once. Did you ever meet him?
I never met Tucker. I met Ann Coulter once.
Oh.
She hangs around the comedy world a little bit and has some comedian friends. And I had always thought that that was a character in a very Tucker Carlson type of way. And within 15 seconds of talking to her, she said 3 things which were so horrible, and she clearly meant them. You know, it wasn't just for, being on TV. Like, she just said some awful things.
Oh, wow. Well, there was this one time when it was years and years and years ago. It was like early days of Full Frontal, and I interviewed Glenn Beck, which, of course, people have never let me forget. And of course, I've never forgotten. I understand. Yes. We all have regrets in life. But one thing that he did say to me that still lives as real estate in my brain is because I mentioned something about Ann Coulter to him, and he was like, yeah, but you're like our Ann Coulter. And I really took that to heart. I thought, I think I need to change some things about myself. That's not great.
Well, the whole thing about like cruelty is the point.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think people really understand the ways that money changes people's behavior.
Oh, doesn't it?
Being around money, whether it's political donations or your job, but most people will just go the path of least resistance. And that's clearly what's happening at Fox generally, which is there's a lot of people there. A lot of them are probably nice people, and they're just getting some instructions from above. And they just want to go home and have dinner with their families. So, but I have felt better not watching as much. I do read a little bit every night, but TV news started really disappearing, almost like I got allergic to it.
Right.
Just that and COVID was just too much negative energy for too many years. Like it rewires your brain to be depressed in some way. And so now my Instagram, it is the most stunning collection of cat videos, documentaries about Fleetwood Mac, motivational sayings from Ram Dass and Eckhart Tolle, but mainly cats. Mainly cats.
Little fluffs.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So this podcast is called Choice Words. So we're talking all about like the choices that people make in life. And I'm introducing our audience to some spectacular choices that I made in my own life. Mm-hmm. Some good, some terrible. But I think, like, I'll give you just an example. So I was telling our audience how I was a petty criminal when I was a teenager.
We all were.
Well, we stole cars. I guess that's not petty. That's
grand theft.
That's grand. That's like go to jail. But anyway, I never got caught. But I remember.
Wait, but what did you do with the cars? Joyride or sell?
Both.
Wow.
Joyride for a little while.
Yeah.
So keep the car, ride around in it, rig it up so that it was like easy to start. Mm-hmm. Use it for its purposes and then sell it for parts and then throw wild parties in hotels.
At what age did you do this?
15, 16.
Wow. What city?
Toronto.
I love it. I love that you took it that far to full stealing cars. I'll tell you what my thievery was.
What was it?
We would go to a sporting goods store. Mm-hmm. Me and my two friends. We would switch price tags on racquetball rackets. See, kids, before pickleball, there was a thing called racquetball.
I remember racquetball.
And some of the rackets cost like $200, but other rackets, which looked very similar, cost $18. So we would switch the price tags, buy them for $18, return them, and then we would have all this credit. And then our parents were so negligent, they didn't notice that like suddenly we had brand new winter coats and skis and ski pants. And we did all the time. I tried to do it once with jeans, with like Sasson jeans or something.
Sure.
And those were like $200. I tried to buy them for $20. And of course, the woman at the counter is like, those aren't $20 Sasson jeans. So I got caught. And then they put me like underneath the store. I don't know if it was Bloomingdale's or something like that. And there was like a little security room, a little scary security room. And they tried to call my home. Of course, no one was home because no one was ever home.
No.
And then after a while, they're like, okay, don't do it again. Another time I got in trouble being a little kid, maybe we were in like 6th grade or something, throwing tennis balls at cars.
Oh, like on the highway?
Not on the highway, but through a neighborhood.
Still.
And it was winter, and this guy got out of this little shitty Pinto, hunted all three of us down one by one like the Terminator.
Oh, wow.
And it took each one of us home to our parents. And when we got home to my house, my parents weren't home. My sister was home, and she was like 8 or 9, left alone. Or maybe my mom was in the shower.
Right.
And then she said, she's in the shower. And he's like, well, tell your mom that he threw tennis balls at my car and left me there. Then she didn't tell on me.
I like that he brought you home too, and that was okay. He was like, I'm bringing you home. You're like, I will get in your car and you take me home.
That was scary because I was aware that I was possibly about to be murdered.
Okay. Oh, these are very delinquent activities.
But I've never done it again. I'll tell you a third delinquent one because I feel like I need 3 to equal the car.
I don't know. These are pretty good ones, but okay.
We used to look for cars with radar detectors. That was a craze. You'd have a little device. You'd put it on your windshield and it would tell you if there was a cop checking radar.
Oh, yeah. Like it was like a little box,
Yeah.
right? Like a little, yeah. Okay.
And we would like break people's windows and steal their radar detectors.
What?
Yeah. But we didn't take the whole car like you. You're a crazy person.
I guess so, but what do you do with the radar detectors?
You find
What
some
would you do
weird
with
we'll give you $50 for it. We didn't do
Oh,
that
you
one
sold
very
it.
often, but it was a creepy time. But I think like all of our parents had just gotten divorced and we were all miserable. And I think we wanted to
Oh,
get
yeah.
caught. We just wanted to yell at our parents and go, see what you turned us into.
Yeah. You ruined us. Your negligent parenting. I can do this on my.
I'm stealing radar detectors because I am traumatized.
Oh my God, that is so funny.